What's going on, guys? I was gonna post once a week, but I don't think anyone's ever gotten mad at posting a little bit more than what they say. So I got a comment about this thing, about kind of the future list and kind of what my plans are for it. So I figured I'd kind of address some of that stuff real quick. I'm not gonna go into crazy detail because as of right now, it's just a list and a piece of paper, but. So, like I said, I'm not going to go into crazy detail, but I do have a small list made for things that I want to get done on the car. First and foremost, it's an E36, so all of the subframe reinforcements need to be done. There, no question about that. I lost my very first E36 to not doing the rear subframe reinforcements, and unfortunately at that time I didn't have money to do a whole cage, and that's kind of your only option once those get so bad. So it was my very first E36. I'm sad that thing's gone, but that was one of my favorite ones. So subframe reinforcements, Big Duck Club version 2 55mm over fenders. I would like to get those for this. I think that's one of the best looking over fender kits for E36s, and then everything else just kind of standard drift stuff. Like I said, this build's, I'm not trying to make a super crazy build right out of the gate. That's not me. I want to get it done and get on track. I just want to do it right and do it proper. CNF radiator, and that's what I want. I believe that's what it's called. That's the radiator I want to run on this with dual electric fans. Rev shift motor and trans mounts. I've used those on all of my E36s. I've never had an issue with any of those so far. I did have some issues with the Condor because they're so hard, they don't flex at all, and it kind of messes stuff up unless you have a intense built and reinforced car. So I love Condor stuff. They're the reinforcement plates that I use. Not a big fan of the bushings. Rev shift is a lot better in my personal opinion. Honestly, for a clutch, the FX Stage 2, that's an eBay part, but I used it in 2 of my previous E36s, and I had absolutely no issues whatsoever with that. I love that thing, and shout out to Chelsea Denelfa, because watching his YouTube channel, he's the reason why I tried it in the first place, and that thing held up. For my last E36 that I had, it did 3 seasons without skipping a beat, so when I pulled it out, it didn't even look terrible. So shout out to them. Coilovers, I'm still kind of trying to decide. I've been reading the forums and talking to people. I ran BCs on my last one, and the one before that I had, they came with a car that I previously bought. They were like Status Guru or something like that coilovers. They were okay, but they weren't my favorite. They popped and clicked a lot, and I don't know if it was a error when they got installed. I don't know, but here's that. PMC shifter, I had bought one of those from a previous E36, and I loved that thing so much. It felt so good shifting and everything like that. I just wish they had a self-centering one. So it was between that or a IRP self-centering shift knob. Because I have long arms, so it's nice just to have it pop back without me having to overreach and stuff like that. It's just a tall person preference right there at that point in time. Angle kit, I'm wanting to go with SLR just because I know it's so proven. They've been used a lot in a lot of different cars and the drift circuit and FD and stuff like that. So that's probably I'm going to go with that. I do want to do a dual caliper hydro setup on this car. I've never had it before. I've always done inline, but with the weld-on tabs being only like 45 bucks, and I have extra rear E36 calipers, I'm just going to shoot for that, seeing this is going to be a mostly purpose-built drift car. I'm not going to daily, I say I'm not going to, but I'm not going to daily it as often, seeing as I have my truck. I'm going to do a bunch of delete things. This car has a really pushed in spare tire carrier, so I'm going to cut that out and just put in the trunk delete. I will be doing the HVAC delete stuff, so no, the heater core bypass and block off plate and all that fun stuff. That will be going on this car. I don't need heat. Like I said, it's not going to be a daily. I obviously am not driving it. Still has no front end. let's see. Doing ARP, seeing as I'm buying the motor, the motor's not in the car, I have to buy one. I'm just gonna take the time to rebuild it before I put it in there, just to make sure everything's good and golden. So I'm gonna do all the seals, just do the head gasket ahead of time, just to stay above that ARP head studs, because I am wanting to get an M52. I'm not really sure why M50s are so much more expensive than M52s right now, but seeing as I'm doing this on a budget, unless I find an M50 for cheaper than an M52, I'm going to be going M52. So, also, if anybody has any experience going with an OBD2 motor into an OBD1 car, any tips would be much appreciated. I know the crank sensor is different, and there's something else that's different. I believe the starter wire is different. But any advice on that would be much appreciated, because I've always just stuck to same harness, same car type of deals. So I will be doing strut reinforcements as well. These cars are notorious for ripping out the rear ones. I've done it twice. I'm learning from my past mistakes, so I will be reinforcing those as well. Also, I need to get somebody to look at the cage in this, because I don't know if I need to do more to make this cage legal, but I do want to finish the cage, so that's another thing that I need to get done. I do really also want the bacon arrow kit. It's one of my favorite kits. I love it. I know it's probably getting overplayed on E36s, but I love it. I want it. It's my car. I don't care what anyone has to say. Even if it's, I know that he sold it to somebody else, so I just got to figure out who's making that now. I don't even know if they make it for the stands yet or not. That is kind of my quick rundown on this thing, on stuff that I want to get done. I know there's going to be a lot more, and I didn't go over every single little thing, but I'm not really big enough for people to want to sit here and listen to what my future plans are, especially knowing that I'm working on a budget type build. So I just kind of went over things that are practical for me to get sooner than later. And I don't know if I showed the interior really well in my last video, but this is kind of what I'm working with. The car obviously was an auto at one point, but it does have the clutch pedal and everything's already ran. So whoever had this car before, the person that did the cage and stuff, they converted everything over already. So there's a plus for me. I just got to get rid of that. I'm gonna have to bypass some wires. So I'm not keeping that in the car. I don't know if the other person was lazy or didn't know how to do it. I don't know, but I did vacuum the car a little bit. I got to go through and scrub clean it. I got to figure out what this black gunk is back here too. There's a bunch of stuff stuck in it. So, but I did get the front struts on, just to realize that I don't have any lug studs, so I have to go pick some of those up. Both back wheels only have 2 lug studs per, so that's all I need really to get it moving. So that's fine. And then I am debating if I want to try and shave this bay and paint it, or just kind of leave it and run it. I'm just kind of chipping at things slowly right now. But yeah, that's my little update. Thank you for watching. Any people that watched the first one, thank you so much for watching it. I made it up to 27 subscribers, I think, and it's only been a day or two, so small feats are big feats for me, especially being a new person and just trying my best to get things going. But thank you for watching, and this hopefully we'll be getting some parts in here soon.